All right, I've got something that's getting under my skin. Screens do not equal luxury. More and more automotive manufacturers are resorting to screens as a substitution for luxury. Sure, there will be soft touch surfaces around, but really what they're doing is they're sticking all these screens in the car, hoping you overlook some of the other things that are shortchanged. And yes, screen technology has gotten cheap, and it was something that was really novel when you first had vehicles debuting these huge screens. Now, if you drive at night, you're pretty well blinded by the backlight coming back at you. So how did we get here? Why are screens considered luxurious items? At one point, it was really exclusive to have a screen in a vehicle. And you look back at some of those early screened vehicles with navigation built in, and they look dated. And no matter how many over-the-air updates you do to these new screens, they will eventually be dated as well. Recently on Twitter, I saw a Ford Mustang Mach-E where it failed to do an over-the-air update and it bricked the vehicle. GM is experiencing similar issues where the infotainment system is bricking their vehicles. So all these screens are not necessarily a good thing, especially as you get away from buttons and put more and more inside those screens. And the exception to that is Tesla. Yes, they have a giant screen and all of their functions are in that screen, but if the screen goes out, your car still drives. You may not be able to see how fast you're going, but it will still drive. And because they're going with a minimalist style, they're not going to have a bunch of screens all over the place. So manufacturers are differentiating their luxury vehicles versus their pedestrian vehicles by adding a screen to the passenger display, adding a bigger screen to the gauge cluster, adding a bigger screen to the center console, maybe adding a couple screens in the back. Even BMW's utilizing screens for their doors. When will the madness end? Personally, I feel we're only a few short years away from people revolting against all the screens in the vehicle. That is, unless they can really do hands-free and eyes-free driving, in which case everybody's going to be looking at the screens.
Everyone's happy just staring at their screens.
But if you made it this far in the video, please make sure to check out some of my other videos, and thank you for joining me. I'll catch you on the next one.